Alright, hey YouTube. Welcome to another video. This is I make autism content. Not really. That's the title of this video that I had to remember, because it was supposed to come out months ago, and I actually I had recorded a take of this using my nice expensive ZV-E1, and I had it on my shopping cart, and there were, the first time I had used that setup with my new camera, a few hiccups, the worst being the audio, picking up all the bumps in the sidewalk. My little clip-on, or my cold shoe mount microphone shock absorber couldn't absorb that much shock. So, anyways, you get me walking as is usual for these videos. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about, is how like a video like this gets made. Just gives people an idea. But then first I'm going to say, pinned comment. If it's not there, then I failed at my job. But that's basically the rules. If we're lucky, that won't have to be a thing very much longer, because I have, what is it? Oh, because I'm seeing more channels get the channel guidelines feature, so that's really exciting. I cannot wait for the day when my comment rules can be literally shoved in your face, but that's the wrong word for it. Even though it means similar things, I don't want to give that persona, but they'll be in a place where you can't ignore them. You'll have to see them. So I'm excited for that. And, but pin comment for now. Anyways, how I make these videos. Right now you guys are on a selfie stick, not all the way out. I kind of sort of like that look, but I like the way things sounded if I had you guys in just a little bit closer. So we'll keep you guys right about there for now. That's nice. What else? Oh, so, and these are things where I will spend several weeks, if not months, just going over thoughts in my mind and figuring out what I want to say about something, rehearsing it to myself as if I'm talking to a camera, and then after that it's go. We turn on the camera and we record. They're meant to be quick and they're meant to be simple. It's like when I want to talk about something but I don't want to spend a lot of time making a video about it, you get this. And so far the format, I can't say that they're the best performing on my channel, especially the ones where I go live and I do it that way. But I actually, I don't mind this format, and I think it's an okay for this style. There's some things that I think would be nice to have maybe a retention edit on. This one, not so much, because it's about the direction of this channel. But yeah. Now, what comes with this territory is often, oh, I forgot to say something like earlier, let me add this in now. All of this other things that I forget. Or even worse is, oh, I forgot to say this thing, I've stopped recording, there was a whole 20-minute take, let's start over. That happens. So I've started doing little notes with bullet points, things like that, to help me through these videos. Or I have one that's actually been completely scripted and I want to record it with a teleprompter, so I can just, a little bit of practice, read the teleprompter and nail it. I have a teleprompter, just the glass and frame. I need to make a, I need to make the cover for it, and then I can record that video. I don't even remember what that video is about. I just know it's in my documents on my Google thing somewhere. And with this one, I actually have notes on Google Keep, and they are on my watch. So yeah, we should be able to get through this video pretty decently. So, yeah, and with these being quick and dirty, kind of simple, in between my other projects is often when I do these, walking to and from places. I opted to walk home. It's a beautiful day today. Also, being on a selfie stick should be less shaky than the one video I did about The Invisible Boundaries, something autism, whatever I called that video. One of the main reasons that we are even here doing this video right now. So yeah, and like, I think these probably even take a little lower priority than Minecraft, and other like streamed games, even though they should take a little bit higher priority. But I'm a little more interested in playing Minecraft than I am on working on one of these. But this should be simple. I'll just have to boost the volume a little bit when I get it into editing software, or I can do that on my phone. Anyways, the big stuff that we need to talk about now, big things, is I'm not necessarily turning into an autism channel like a lot of the other autism channels. The ones that I watch, I used to watch Autism from the Inside. I haven't seen him recently, but Paul Micallef, he's good. I would watch him again. Lately, YouTube has been recommending me man, I almost want some La Morenita, which I think it's Spanish for the brunette. There's a restaurant over there. A huge burrito with your choice of meat, cheese, beans, rice, pico de gallo with avocado, and it's like a big huge burrito, and then a big huge side of French fries for $11. They're good. I also want to try their soup, but it's only on Saturday and Sunday, and I haven't been in on one of those days. Anyways, that's one of the other things about this format, and maybe possibly my autism. A little bit distracted sometimes, but where was I? Yeah, so who do I watch now? Meg from I'm Autistic Now What? Yeah. And then also I'm gonna switch hands because my right hand is getting really tired holding this. Shorts by Kaylin Portlow will come up. So, good creators, but I'm not specifically turning into them. If I have something to say about autism, I think, I could say this. Here's my perspective. I feel like saying it. I'm going to. But I'm not going to specifically do it as a huge regular thing. Although technically this whole channel is autistic because I am a man with autism. And so I am making content that is like autistic. But it's not necessarily educational about autistic. Or you might not know it's autistic. Like, you could watch one of my Minecraft videos and not really know that I'm autistic. Or like Airborne Death. I don't think Airborne Death says, a story written by an autistic person. So, yeah, there will still be some autistic content here and there when I feel like I have something to say on the subject, or if someone asks a question and I think I can answer it, sure, but it's not going to be the thing of this channel. And with that comes along with not necessarily looking for community. I mean, I am looking for people who like my videos. I want a fan base, a Cool Shows 101 community of just people who like my stuff and like to watch it. I'm making these videos for like you guys. Well, also because I like making videos too. I was doing this before YouTube existed. So, I mean, not this format, but recording things on my mom's camera. It was fun. So, yeah. That's nice, and I like doing that, and I'm doing this like for like you guys, and especially with the autistic content, I'm not specifically looking for help unless I ask for it. So, what was I thinking of? Oh yeah, so again, looking for community as in the Cool Shows 101 community, people who like to watch my videos and, support me, either just by commenting, watching, liking, or eventually someday monetary support. I do have a Patreon. I don't know if I'll remember to put it down there, but I do. Or like ad revenue, all that sort of things. Yes, that type of community. But once we talk about the autism community being accepting and, I could go to, like r/autism and have a bunch of people, validate and like me, and I'm not looking for that kind of community. And There's several reasons that I kind of think maybe why that could be the case, and we're going to get into that. Because, I mean, it's not bad. And this comes from, I forget who said it, but on one of my autism videos, someone was like, you know, the autism community is loving and accepting, talk when you need to. The talk when you need to part is just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not talking because I need an outlet and I need someone to hear me. I'm talking because I think I can help you guys. I want to help you guys unless I ask for help. A really good example is I was looking up some stuff about stimming, meltdowns. That's what I was looking up, which, you know, and it talked about how, I think this was Google Gemini. I don't fully trust AI, but this made enough sense. You know, you can get overwhelmed, overloaded. And so specifically with the screaming, you're trying to focus on your own voice and drown out all of the other sounds that are overwhelming you. That makes sense. But then there was a little thing that I, in a few more minutes of searching and checking references, couldn't find an answer to. And it might do it if they're understimulated. What? And maybe that ties into stimming, which I don't know much about other than autistic people do it. And I know some different things that autistic people do that are stims or that are considered stims. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother topic. So maybe it just ties into that. But if you have any ideas of why you might be like understimulated and then scream to stimulate yourself, especially as part of a meltdown, then let me know. Because the other thing that seems weird about that is like, I don't know, it sounds like, I can't take it. It's too quiet. And then you'd start screaming or whatever. And like, I've never imagined it like being like too quiet or whatever. And then especially going to screaming, like if it was too quiet, I don't think I would panic and melt down unless I was really worried about like how, you know, but when it gets quiet in the woods, it means there's like a dangerous predator around and all the animals are trying to hide and maybe somebody's out to get me and all this, maybe. But, I don't know. It just seems a little weird, and I'd be more like, for me, it would be more like, it's really quiet around here. A little too, like, quiet. And I'll turn on some music. I'll fix things up. But I don't think I'd have a panic attack about it being quiet. So there's an example of when I'm actually looking for help. But the rest of the time, I'm just trying to help you guys. Now, this shouldn't discourage you from leaving feedback in the comments below and suggesting things. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to follow those suggestions. But I might. There's almost a 50-50 chance that it could be something where like, oh, actually, I never thought of that before. I think I'm going to try that. Thank you. You know, that can absolutely happen. But then you've got a situation where you're going to be helping other people too. So suggestions, whether they're for me or not, can very well just end up helping other people. And that's great. That's why I'm doing this. And so if we can all help some other people, I like it. But again, I'm not specifically looking for help with most of this. And so don't necessarily feel like you are, helping me. But then again, armchair warriors or whatever they're called, those are a thing. All the people like, oh, you did it wrong, but now you know how to do it right for next time. I'm not worried about that. But, there are those people. So, now, I want to talk just a little bit about why I'm not necessarily looking for community. And I think part of it, too, is like online validation versus real life validation. It depends on what the validation is about. Like, you made a good video. I liked that. You said your thoughts well. You were able to talk and walk at the same time pretty coherently. I couldn't do that, was a comment that I got on one of the previous autism videos. So, man, with how tired my arms are getting, I think I just haven't done selfie stick in a while. But anyways, so validation about my videos being good, that's absolutely fine. I am kind of in a way looking for that, but none of this ego stroking whatever stuff, you know. But again, going back to the talk when you need to, the validation of the self and of the autism and all that, like in real life, sure, I do want some of that, you know, having actual real life friends who, you know, like and are willing to help and support me and just be friends. That's absolutely great. I'm not necessarily looking for online friends, and I'm not opposed to having online friends. There are a couple of fans that I talk with every once in a while on here, and like if I had regular conversations with someone who was a fan online, but it was like off of the YouTube platform, and we talked about like a whole variety of things, much like friends would, you know, like that's okay. I'm kind of fine with that, but I'm not looking for like large amount of friends or a big community. But in real life validation, absolutely good. I do want friends in real life. And another thing I think kind of ties into this is this might be a little bit of a slam at the community a little bit, but before I give that, I need to say that I really do understand and connect with various people who have special needs. Oh, this is actually, the timing of recording this is pretty sweet. So a few stories to show that I do understand and connect. I have empathy. So we used to have a guy that rented our old house. He was 20 years old with Down syndrome, lived with his mother who was like really old. Maybe she was only in her like 70s plus. I would say at least 80. And eventually they had to not rent our house anymore and go live separate places, which for him was kind of okay because he loved his mom, but he also liked being able to go to activities and do stuff with the group. Whereas like at home, you know, not only needing to help with his mom, but also like he'd be outside helping me rake up their leaves in the yard. And then it'd be like, I'm just gonna make up a name. Mark? Yeah? Where are you? I'm outside helping. Well, get in here. She was always a little bit like wanting him close, more so because she was just worried about him and his safety. But he was absolutely sweet. Like, you would stop. I turned off the leaf blower because that's the next step in raking the leaves up. You okay? I'm okay, Mark. Oh, good. Absolutely sweet, wonderful guy. Pretty cool. He had an N64, like an actual one. GoldenEye. I've never played GoldenEye, but I've heard of it. That was kind of cool. And, you know, I recognized a little bit of his struggle, but he was a cool person. Another person, this one will use the name Sam. This is a person who used to shop at Dollar Tree quite frequently. He would come in with a group of special needs people. He was, I don't know the age of this guy, but if I had to guess, he was around 20. Or he kind of still looks like he's maybe around 20, so maybe he was a little bit younger. All these like 7+ years ago. But what am I thinking of? Yeah, he was a little bit big and tough and nonverbal. So I don't know exactly what his condition is, but I think if it's autism, then, you know, higher level than me. I'm type 1. I don't know what type is nonverbal, but he's nonverbal. But he has, you know, he's there. He can like point at things. He makes grunting noises. Like there was one time that he was in the Dollar Tree, and the I don't know what they're called, but like the caretaker or whatever, one of the non-special needs people over the whole group during the activities, they had forgotten the card, and he was really upset that he wasn't going to get his stuff. And I was maybe a little bit worried that he might want to like hit something or whatever. He didn't, and like I didn't say that out loud, but the guy was like, "Hey, no, look, I promise you will get your snacks, which is like a bag of goldfish. I promise you will get your snacks before you go home, but you need to get into the car and go with all of us now, and then I'm going to run back here with the card and buy all of the stuff. And so he relented and went. He had to get his snacks. But then, here's the sweet thing. So first of all, one interesting thing, and I'll say this guy has a little bit orange-ish type hair. I think sometimes he wears like a striped shirt. And, I don't know. This surprised me. It did not seem like something that, what was the name I picked? Sam? This did not seem like something that Sam would be interested in. But one time, he bought a book about the history of Yahoo. I did not see that coming. Like, at all. It was surprising. But then, the sweet thing is, he bought a notebook one time. So, I asked his caretaker, what is this for? Does he know how to write or anything? And the guy said, well, he knows his name. He knows the name of some of his family members. But what it's really for is there's this other girl who has the same condition as him, but he can talk. And he sometimes sees her when they're at this thing that they sometimes go together. And, he likes her. And so he will have me help him write letters to her. And I just thought that was so sweet. And then I told this one manager who works at Dollar Tree and knows Sam. And I was like, hey, guess what? Sam has a girlfriend. And she's like, woo, Sam, you have a girlfriend? He just got a big, huge smile on his face. You could tell he was so happy. It was really, really sweet. And I actually saw this guy recently, and that's why this video timing is perfect. It's been a few years since I've seen him, but he was in there, and so I said, hi, Sam. And then he, he can't talk, but he held up a bag of pretzel crisps, the spicy ranch. And, he showed me, he pointed to the flavor, and like, oh, yeah, they're habanero ranch. And he pointed to the back, and he showed me the calories, and I'm like, yeah, that's not too big of a number. Should be good. And then he went back to the front, and he pointed to the habanero. I'm like, yeah, spicy habanero. And then, oh, yeah, and it's got ranch in there. He pointed to the ranch. That was sweet. And, then I said, well, all right, that looks like you're going to enjoy those snacks. You have a good day. And he gave a thumbs up, had a smile on his face the whole time. So, this is really sweet. Really sweet. And then, let's see, what else here? So, I do understand and have some empathy for people with special needs. And now we get to the part where it's kind of almost a slam is the right word. And I'm part of the community, so hopefully the blow is a little bit less. And it's not too hard. But one of my friends was like, when there's an autism conference down at UVU, and you should go. You could learn so much from it, and it'd be really helpful. My first thought, I didn't say this to my friend, who my friend may or may not have autism, but has not been tested, but he kind of thinks he does. My first thought was an entire convention center full of those weird people. No, thank you. This comes from the thing of, I can interact with some people, I interacted with Sam the other day just fine, and he's nonverbal. So I can interact with people, but there's a point where I don't know exactly what to do, or why or how. So it's I don't know how to interact with those people. Maybe if they're like, hey, we like what you said in the video or something, just come give your raw thoughts on whatever. Maybe that would be fine. But as it is, I'm not necessarily looking for that. I'm not necessarily looking to go to an autism convention. And then, so the final thing is what content do I want to make? Talking about stuff every once in a while is good. I like sharing my thoughts on some things. but just the whole process of it is kind of less interesting than other stuff. Short films are at the top of the list. There's a whole bunch of other things. I want to do more cooking stuff. I'll probably review more food in restaurants. Absolutely. Content on my alarm clock, sure. There's going to be more content on my studio, but short films are at the top. And here's the current plan. I'm working on sound foam, finishing that up. When I get that done, then I'm going to try and have a few little short films that I can just grab some friends together and film pretty quickly and put them up there. And I'm going to make that kind of be my focus. And other things will fall in place as they will. But like content on my alarm clocks and all of those things, they will happen a little bit later. And, but I'm sure they'll happen at some point. But that's kind of the basic plan. And that's the direction of the channel. Pretty sure a lot of you guys will understand. You know, if you don't, I mean, again, remember, comment rules down below. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to silence you unless very specifically those rules. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to stop by the farmer's market, see if I can get some ripe jalapenos. I'll see you guys in whatever's next. Bye.